Welcome to Meet the Polymaker. I am your host, Joel. Welcome in everybody to the show. We're here to talk about some 3D printing things, some maker things, what's out there in the world of news. We're going to share some print highlights from our Show Off Prints channel on our Discord over at discord.polymaker.com. Thanks to all those who share through there and give me something to present every week. And then we're going to meet somebody who's a maker who makes things that you may or may not have already downloaded and printed yourself. So stay tuned for that. But before that, let's start off with hot end headlines. And first up, we're going to talk about Mercedes AMG with a 3D printed seat pad. Doesn't sound like anything crazy. It's Mercedes. How fancy could you get? But it's not just a 3D printed, seat pad. It is a custom 3D printed, shaped to your body after they 3D scan you, then print the tailored seat pad to your body. So it's the most comfortable for the driver. Now the downside is, any other people want to drive your car, it's not nearly as comfortable for them. It is going to be swappable, but I don't know. I didn't see where it was going to be swappable from the factory or the dealer, or if it's something where it's just kind of a cushions that it will snap off, snap on. We'll find out, when that comes out. But they're using BioSmart materials. The pads are going to be wrapped in a vegan leather, made with recycled race tires and biotech silk, or of course that luxury sustainable finish that Mercedes is known for. They are planning to bring these 3D printed seating innovations into future production models. So, will we see that with Mercedes? If they're doing it, no reason we're not going to see it in many other companies. So just stay tuned. And next up, we're going to see the 3D printed aorta model. So what actually started with a gentleman with a heart 4 times its normal size, ready to rupture anytime, they were able to create a scan and then print that out in a dual material, so a hard and soft material, to kind of mimic the tissue and everything else. And it allowed surgeons to train for a 9-hour complex surgery before going in, which we've talked about this with a lot of things. But this was just a really large model. But again, allowing them to do that surgery to see what kind of problems could they face. That way they avoid it when they're actually inside the body. They are now developing models that actually simulate real blood flow for even more lifelike rehearsals. So just really cool innovations we're seeing in medical. And it's just cool to see kind of a dual material. Couldn't find what printer they use, which that would have been really interesting. Next up, we're going to see the KISS Slicer. So keep it simple but powerful slicer. It's actually touting a streamlined UI and layered features, and it's scaling from anywhere from a free to a pro and premium model base based on your needs. Looking at this screenshot, it looks kind of outdated, but the article I read assured experienced users are swearing by its print quality and unique calibration tools. So instead of just relying on nozzle size, it's actually calculating flow rates for precise control over temperature, retraction, extrusion, which we've seen those settings that we can change, within Bamboo Slicer or Bamboo Studio and others. But this is kind of a whole different take. It's not a fork of Slicer, Slick 3R, Prusa Slicer, Orca, Bamboo Studio, all that stuff. This is a different one. Seems to be more of a power tool than it is a normal consumer, jump into thing. A little bit more complex, but with complexity, a lot of times you get a lot more features. So might want to check it out. There's a free version out there if you'd like to try it. Next up, we have Tactical Paint Sprayer. This is another Kickstarter, and just want to preface that whenever I talk about Kickstarters, we're not encouraging you to go to back a Kickstarter. If you do your research and you choose to, great. I'm just showcasing the really cool things, such as a tactical paint sprayer. I say it's tactical, they just say laser guided. But the laser itself is not just for accuracy. It actually helps keeping a perfect distance and alignment while you're painting. That's one thing I know with painting myself that I've tried to learn is keeping a steady distance. And sometimes that's hard. If you start getting into spraying, you're trying to focus on covering one area. You might get too close, you get the runs of paint on the model, not the other kind. So this may fix it if it works as introduced. It's a battery powered quick swap nozzle paint sprayer. You can change patterns. I have 3 speed controls, but it's already been fully funded. And I think it might still be available to go back if you decided to. But again, you can go check it out if you like to. It is by X-Try Fun. And last but not least, we have an announcement of filament. You've already seen it across the socials. You've seen it in the Discord. We now have PA612 ESD. For those that don't know exactly what that is, ESD is electric static discharge. And what it does is it protects sensitive electronics by safely dissipating static. And what's nice with this filament is there's no prep, there's no post-processing, there's no coding that you need to do to get the static discharge down, or that feature. It is in the filament. As soon as you print it, it's ready to go. This can be annealed for higher strength. We already had a PETG ESD, which worked great, same characteristics. This one comes along to give a lot higher stiffness, higher heat dissipation, and just overall strength. So more of an industrial grade strength with the static safety. So it is a little bit expensive. It is definitely one of those use cases. If you have a project for it, it is going to do great for electronics, whether it be housings. I know a lot of race teams that we've sponsored, robotics we've sponsored, do battery covers and things like that. Things that need to be protected from possible static discharge that could fry circuit boards and things like that. But it prints easily straight from the spool. And of course it's Polymaker, it's Fiberon, so it's great stuff. But that is it for the news this week, and we're going to go ahead and head to the spool to spotlight. And first up, we have a print shared by Bonus Labs. It is a model available on Jerrari3D. It is Fat Nuggets, designed by Geck, and just a cute multicolor print. I'm not sure what caused me to click on this first, was just seeing the picture and the cute little pig, or the fact that it said Fat Nuggets, and I thought it just sounded hilarious. But just a great print, and I appreciate you sharing. Next up, we have CGS Creations printing out the Evil Clown Skull Book Nook by Mad Power, which is available on Maker World. And it's hard to tell here, but just imagine books next to it. So it's kind of a hidden clown face in the books. Maybe hard to see on this picture, but the ruffles and the hat look like it's a gradient color. Just a really good choice of colors and material they've used on this. The nose pops. I think everything came together very well on this. So just an excellent print overall. So thanks again for sharing. And next up, we have Disturbed Medic 167 has printed the turtle cup holder. And if you have not seen this, it is a turtle that has his feet down, mouth closed, until you put a cup or can or whatever weight on top of him. It looks like it's getting squashed. Quite hilarious. No layer by layer I see in chat there. It is not a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. It is just a turtle cup holder. And again, this is designed by Adol35, available on Jerrari3D. And no, it's not Leonardo or anybody. It's just a plain turtle. Not everything has to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles layer by layer. Danny at Neokoi Prints has printed Voron TPU Maker Chip. I think it was designed by him, or maybe the Voron team. I wasn't sure. But the big thing on this is what I wanted to show is this is a multi TPU Maker Chip. So each one of those colors, everything in this is TPU. He was able to achieve this on his Voron 2.4, I think 356 tool changer. If you follow him on the socials, went through a lot of calibration trying to get this working, and now he's got himself, I would say, probably the first full TPU multicolor TPU chip. So awesome print. And last but not least, we have Buck, who has printed the Alien Skull Fossil by Boys Day Design, available on Maker World. And what's cool about this, it's a glow-in-the-dark skull. It's got the what I would imagine, I didn't see it listed, rainbow or luminous rainbow one of my favorite filaments. Most of you already know. But this, of course, under a black light. They have awesome glow, but it also has the same color in just normal daylight without the glow or bright effect. So definitely a cool skull. And yeah, layer by layer. I'm not sure if it's the alien skull I see in chat. If it's Indiana Jones, maybe. I know I've seen the crystal skull thing. I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure if that's what it is or not. But that is it for all the prints for the week. If you want to share yours also, go to Show Off Prints channel at discord.polymaker.com, and please always make sure to include credit or a link to where that model is available in case you inspire somebody else to print it. They know where to go for it and don't have to ask all the questions. So share all of them, the ugly, the bad, the good, the everything in between. I love seeing them and I love sharing them. So appreciate everybody. We're going to take a commercial break real quick here, and we're going to be back to meet our next maker.
Has this ever happened to you? Have you just been minding your own business and you drop your PLA print? There's gotta be a better way. Well, now there is. With our Polylite PLA Pro, you won't have to worry about dropping your PLA prints ever again. Just look how these tests held up to our drop test, the same one that we did with PLA. If you need even more impact resistance, make sure you check out our Polymax PLA. This hammer is no match for Polymax PLA.
This is Polymax PLA, the toughest PLA in the world, and today we're gonna put that to the test. I printed this very mechanical model and we're gonna drop it from the 12th floor. You heard me well, the 12th floor. Let's go. Ready for the first drop in 3, 2, 1. Whoa, that's crazy! Not even a scratch! Let's go and check it closer. Not even a single scratch. I dropped it again from the 12th floor, and still not a single scratch. Buy your Polymax PLA right now!
Performance may vary depending on usage, individual factors, and external conditions. Individual result may vary, not a guarantee of specific outcome. Consult your professional before use. See website for details and limitations. Use responsibly.
Are you into cosplay and prop making? Are you tired of having to break out those power tools to sand those lines away? And don't forget about all that hand sanding. Cramps. Ouch. Introducing Polymaker's Cos PLA. Available in 2 different versions. Version A and version B. Both versions are still easier to stand than standard PLA. Find out more at us.polymaker.com.
Aliens have come to take over our planet. What will we do? With modern technology and superior materials, we may have a chance. The only good bug is a dead bug. Polymaker. Add to your game.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. We are here to meet the next maker, and that maker has done some pretty awesome organizational stuff. If you're OCD like me, you want things in a certain place and order, and this guy has done some pretty awesome things to help with that, and not just help with it, but make it look really cool. So without further ado, let's welcome in Joey with Jerrari3D. How's it going, man?
Hello. It's going well. How about you?
Not too bad. It's a beautiful day out, even though I'm in my basement with no windows. I'm assuming out there it's beautiful.
We had a huge thunderstorm, but it's sunny now.
Hey, there you go. That's Ohio too. It's probably snowing right now to be followed up with 90-degree weather. So it's just how it works. So real quick, for those that might not recognize the name, I know the face isn't out there a whole lot other than the events, but who are you and what do you do?
So, my name is Joey. I design 3D printable modular storage systems. So that's not what I went to school for or anything, but that's I actually went to school for graphic design, which is a little unrelated from this, but yeah, I don't know. Somehow it transitioned into this, and this ain't my full time job, but no,
But you had fun doing it at least.
Oh yeah, well, it's weird though because like it kind of is slowly kind of turning into it is actually part of my job now because I started my own company like I think it was about last month. So
Awesome, congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm doing a little bit of that now too.
Becoming a little bit more serious, right?
A little more
Not
serious,
that you didn't
but
take it serious before, but
oh yeah. No, it was growing. I mean, I never imagined it would grow that big, but yeah, I kind of got to that point where I had to get, do a little more for like tax reasons and stuff, but also now
the IRS coming after you.
well, it opened up opportunities to like collaborate and work with other people, and
Absolutely.
So I do like with 3D printing. I don't think I know that much. Like I'm always in that like learning mode, but like I do like not just collaborating on things, but what do you call it? Like contract work and
like subletted stuff or commission.
Yeah, just a lot of different things that are around like 3D printing. And I'm like I had to go into a local factory the other day because they're looking at like having a part replaced in their machine. And I'm like, well, we could try, like I think it looks simple enough, really. So and that's actually kind of how I got into 3D printing in some ways was I don't know if that was one of your questions you're going to lead up to.
So yeah, normally I'd ask you kind of like, where did you get into 3D? Like what got you into 3D printing? Was it modeling and then 3D printing or vice versa?
So it was a little bit of both. So when I was a little kid, I remember we got a Windows 95 computer. Like I was like 8 years old, and that was like the first time I saw like 3D graphics. I mean, it makes me sound really old, but like computers were like rare back then,
Okay, yeah. 3.1 with work groups.
Yeah. So yeah, like getting that, I was like, oh man, I want to do something with this. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up or anything, but like by the time I was in like middle school, high school, I was like any free like 3D software like trials that I could find, like 3ds Max and
one of them.
yeah, and I do them, and then I'd like reinstall Windows so I could like redo it again and all that stuff, try to get the most I could out of it. But I hit a point with that where it was like, why am I doing this? Like you couldn't do anything with 3D model. I liked rendering the images, but I'd like spend hours doing something to make like a little image. And the
objective behind it, right?
Oh yeah, you'd spend, I mean, like on a Pentium 4 with like, I don't know, whatever GPU, you'd spend like 11 hours rendering this like 320 by 320 image for, I don't know, half a day. And then you show your friends and they're like, okay.
It's like, what are you going to do with that? Nothing.
Yeah. So like that was
a video game.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, I'll go to school for something like computer related, and that was like graphic design, but I didn't touch like 3D modeling for probably like 12 years or so, over a decade. And then I was working as a graphic designer at a truck leveling lift kit company that I freelanced for. And after being there a few years, I remember the owner, I think it was like 2018, he's like, maybe we should get a 3D printer to like, because I was doing instructions and stuff and like to visualize things more and for maybe test fitting on the truck. We bought a CR10S5 Creality printer.
Oh, the 500 cubed. Like one of the first like 500 cubes. Yeah.
Yeah. So he had me set it up and learn how to use it. And oh my gosh, that thing like hurt your back because you had to manually level like or set 25 points with like sticky note. Oh, it was terrible. And but it was cool as heck because like that was the first time I worked with a 3D printer. So
and you got paid to tinker with it too, right?
Yes,
even better.
It was crazy though because like we do like a control arm for a truck. It's a big part, it's big. We'd 3D model it. set it up, tons of supports, all that stuff, and like really minimal, perimeters, all that stuff. And it'd be like, all right, it's going to take like 3 or 4 days to print. And you're like, please print. Like it fails sometimes. And you're like, another week goes by. And it's like, man, I could probably print that in like 4 hours now.
Oh yeah. And thinking back of some of the stuff that we've all printed, like you said, that have taken 24 hours or 48 hours, like, wow, like how we were that patient now, like, but now we're like, wow, we want that in 4 hours. That's a little bit long, but I guess I'll wait.
But no, that was fun because it was like the Wild West back then. Like you didn't know what was going to happen. The filaments were kind of iffy and whatnot too. I remember one thing we were trying to do, because they did metal parts, was they do injection molding, and they're like, or lost wax casting, and they're like, oh, what if we could 3D print the wax? So we bought the special wax filament from somewhere, and it was made for like jewelry and stuff. And I'm trying to do like whole control arms.
Huge piece, yeah.
Oh, it would just peel, and I had to like adjust the firmware. I'd go in and put like the minimal melting temperature of like 50 Celsius or something, because it's wax. It was like the worst thing to work, and I didn't know what I was doing. So,
because the printers wouldn't extrude until it hit a certain degree, right? So you had to
exactly.
do like custom Marlin firmware.
Yeah. So that it was kind of interesting. So that was my introduction to it, was like kind of in a professional environment and not what I went to school for. But eventually, I think it was later that year, my buddy, because I was out of college. I was kind of like a poor college kid at that point, you owe a lot back. But my buddy was like, hey, you want to buy my old Prusa? So I bought his Prusa for like $250 back then.
Oh, nice.
And I could print at home. And that was like when I started just thinking of like all these little use cases for it. But for me, it was more about like functional prints. Like I maybe from working at the automotive place, like I was like, all these things you can do with it. So and of course, like you're going to print things for your printer. Like that's the first thing you always do when you get a printer.
Yeah. I would say everybody does that, but everybody that didn't have prior to bamboo, I think everybody did that. Now it's like, I mean, there's parts to print, but it's just not as wide spread.
Right. Yeah. No, they do a lot better of a job now, but still I have to finish it, but Prusa, when you buy one of their kits, you get all the tools, but it's like, where do you put these? So I always have to find a home for them. But the first thing I did, I built a lac enclosure because printers were not enclosed back then. And then there's no storage on it. And I remember this was like 2019, going online, and there was Thingiverse, and I don't even know what else. Like that was literally like you'd spend hours looking for a model, and sometimes it was just a lot easier just to make your own. So it kind of forced me to learn Fusion 360 a little better, and really get back into 3D modeling again.
Things like you got to do it yourself now.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
There wasn't
so
a billion models out there.
Yeah. So like I couldn't find any drawers, and I'm like, I just need a simple drawer. So I printed. Actually, I have it right here. It still works with my system, but this was drawer number 1 from 2019. Like it's really simple, but actually it's not very different from like a lot of the current models. Just you had to glue things together and whatnot, but it would screw in under the table and function like a drawer. It was great. And then it was just for me. I wasn't thinking of anything else other than like, okay, that was kind of a neat thing to do. Then Prusa came out with Prusa prints, which is now printables, later that year. And I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll just share it, see what happens. You just never know. And some people were downloading it, and then eventually a few months later, like a few more people, and then you get questions like, can you make it a little bigger and all that stuff? So like I came up with like a drawer that was a little wider, and then you want to do more and more, but it's like what else can you do with drawers? Like they're drawers, right?
This
so
big and this big and then this big and
like
this big. Yeah.
There's not a lot you could do. So I was like, oh, what if I could stack them? So then I came up with this really complex system where it was like you had to like put little M2 nuts in the top ones and take a really tiny screwdriver, and it was a nightmare. It was terrible. You can still download it too. I have it available. Don't though, please
If you
don't.
want to test your patience.
Yeah. Yeah, anyways, I got to a point where I think it was like 2022 at this point, after like I was making all sorts of different models at that point. Some were fun, but a lot of times it was like I did like Ryobi tool holders and other things. I was just having fun uploading stuff online because it was like a whole new like world of things. It gave me reason to 3D model, you know, more stuff. But I came back to the drawer system, and because I still had people asking about it, I'm like, how the heck am I like I'm like, if I keep making more drawers, like I'm like, okay, I can make drawers that have like openings that you can reach in and all that stuff, so you don't have to pull it out, all stuff. But I'm like, okay, if I do different variations or different sizes, I gotta unscrew them from the table and then screw them back in, and then you mess up the threads and all that. I'm like, what if I made a rail that I could slide it into? Well, this is more of like my own problem. Like I'm like, I just want to do something so I can change it quick, and then I can take photos or test it out and put it online. And that's where I started doing what I called Gen 2. It was like the same drawers, but essentially like I came up with this. I should have dug it out, the original one, but yeah, it would slide together. Yeah, it's pretty simple still in some ways. Like you'd slide it back. You had to do this like annoying thing where you had to put a screw it in place. It's still 10 times better than that first iteration I did years before. And then from there, it just kept like advancing a little more. Like that opened up so I could start doing like parts drawers. Like, oh my God, one right here. I mean, this is one of the newer ones, but things like, you know, for your screws and
like more specific sizes, done, you know, designs and walls.
Yeah,
the swatches. Yeah,
swatches. So like I was finding all these little use cases, but the thing that always annoyed me still was having to screw those in. And I did a YouTube video because I started getting into like, all right, I gotta make video tutorials. You know, showing is a lot easier. And I did one on a tabletop kit. It was tabletop kit V1. And you had to do the annoying thing where you screwed it in after you slid them back. And it took like forever to put together. And then it was super confusing. And the comments were just funny and terrible. So I was like, this sucks. And I just remember a few months later, like, it was a while later. 2024, the beginning of that, like, I had this idea because I had people mentioning like compliant mechanism. I'm like, I don't know what that even means. I mean, like, I'm not an engineer. Yeah. And
compliant of a mechanism, I suppose.
Yeah. And that was where do I got that? That's like a spring. Like if you 3D print a spring, it's like a functional part that is also like that. So I came up, well, this was like the third iteration. Like I always prototype the stuff. I try to figure out like how to make it work. You know, I wish I learned some of this stuff at school, but it's fun to discover too. But like I came up with this and how this functioned. It was I wish I would have grabbed that. Essentially
drawers around you.
Yeah, I know it's like they're camouflaging themselves behind other drawers, but essentially like here's one of the drawers. These popped in to place, right? And now they're spring loaded, and it works like it's slanted there. So when you slide these into the dovetail, they would snap in place.
Locks, yeah.
And so it went from being like minutes finding screws, fumbling like under the table to lock it in place, to just like sliding it in and it's snapping in place. And like that was like one of the most exciting things. Like I think like holy cow,
eureka moment. Like this is it.
Yeah, like it was more exciting than like even just coming up with the drawer idea in the first place. Because like I don't think drawers are that exciting. I still think it's hard to make them exciting, but like the whole like assembly mechanism thing that I came up with here was like, this is fun. Like I remember playing with like Legos and Connects and everything, and I'm like, this reminds me of that because it's like you can just snap things together so fast.
That satisfaction too. Just that the tactile feedback, or just the in, and then you can feel the pressure, and all of a sudden snap, and you hear it, you feel it snap in place.
Yes, and it's like
Legos,
right? Like let me take this part. Like I don't know, it's still fun. I had so much fun. Like at Murph, it's just like I'm just demonstrating over and over and over again. It was fun showing it, but like essentially like these are 3 different drawers, and it's like now they are one.
Done deal.
And then it's like to release them, you just pull those mechanisms down, and then you can separate them again. So it's like you could build super fast. And then yeah, it was just like every little challenge. Usually, you know, the internet of course would point it out to you, like, oh, if only you could do this and that. So like I revisited that tabletop kit, and it was actually in December of last year. I was driving home from work, and I'm like, man, how do I make it so you can like go wider? Because like your build plate's only yay big. And I'm like, wait, like when you lay bricks, you like stagger them, or when you like, even when you're building them with Legos, you don't just stack them straight on top of each other, you stagger them and you get more strength. Like, what if I do like 2 layers of them? And so I did that, and I put a video out there, and it was like my most popular YouTube video. And I don't care to make YouTube videos, like it's like not my thing, but like it was actually like
informational things.
Yeah, it gives you get a lot of feedback, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but you also get like it kind of promotes your stuff for free. So it's like, okay, that's a must when you do like a project like that. So it's worth it, but it's but I was like, oh, okay, wow, this is, people like this. And it's fun because like you could go, I had people like posting things where they had like an ultra wide monitor, and they were using like the shorter drawers.
Yeah, they were underneath.
They were putting like 10 units wide, and I'm like, I mean, people were printing, like I've been printing these like nonstop for years, and people like suddenly had like way more than I had, and I'm like, how many printers do they have? How much filament do they have? So there was that. That was a lot of fun because pretty much you go as high as you want and as wide as you want, and that's just like the one application, because it's like it was made to go under tables, so I wasn't even thinking about tabletop kits originally, so it was kind of fun. And then the other thing simultaneously that I really liked, because I went to school for graphic design, and outside of like the functionality of stuff, was the faceplates. So like these whole guys.
Yep, and so, just that aesthetic. I know there's other designs out there, but just that aesthetic is what you can get out of a couple colors and just some angles and lines. It's very satisfying.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like what was fun about these, like they started pretty simple like anything else. Yeah, I have them all on my website. It's easier to be grabbing them, but yeah, they let's see, I put them online, they'd be like one color, and then people would like do things to it, and like I'm like, well, I'll make it like 2 color or something. People without multi-color printers would like print it in sections and glue it together, and I'm like, well, if they're gluing it together, maybe I can do a compliant mechanism craziness and get it to go.
Snap
so
these together.
I ended up like coming up with like, so you can pull these apart, you know, and it's rails essentially, and even
like
these,
a modular faceplate.
It's a modular faceplate. Like everything I learned from like the rest of the system, you know, it's that same way. And then what's cool, you can go and swap out like grab a totally different. I still have to release these. I'm really bad about sometimes, like I have the design, but it's like the documents and all this stuff. But yeah, you can go and you can change the look of it, you know. So it was really interesting because like most of the stuff I was designing for like workshops and other stuff. Some of my other drawer designs had like Protopasta, their metal filled filament. like a brass and I'd polish it.
They're composite. Oh yeah.
And it looked like brass. So I do the handles like that. And then I do wood fill filament for like I did a chevron pattern and stuff.
Nice.
And it doesn't look 3D printed when you do that. It starts looking like I have that in my dining room.
Manufactured.
Yeah, it looks like that's my coffee maker station. And I started like I remember I did a video, and you know, I did a little bit of marketing in school and at work and stuff. So it's like it's good to know like and be analytical about things whenever
Yep.
you do a project and try to figure out like who's your target audience, like is this working?
What's working? Oh yeah, exactly.
Who might you don't want to like show this to, you know, someone and like some kids and they're like, I don't understand. I don't really care.
Not,
you know,
it's not a dragon. I don't care.
yeah, it might be someone with like a workshop or home, whatever you want to get that target audience. But it was interesting because like most of my videos I look and like it'd be like 98% like male and like 2% female would be like interested in the projects. All of a sudden that project was like 60 something percent like female audience was like
You start
interested.
customizing it, and it's not just a garage, you know,
Yeah.
organization setup.
And what was cool about that, like, because it's functional, but it's like kind of you know, visual
Aesthetic.
too, like
Oh, yeah.
aesthetic. Like I collaborate, like Karen Chow, I met her at Rocky Mountain and Murph and some of these other things, but
Yeah, the Halloween
she had a really cool design where it was this face, and she did like the eyes or the little handles on it and stuff. So that opened up to being able to do that, and that's something I want to do more of is create like templates, so then everyone can just
gives
easily
everybody a blank slate to be like, hey, what's your aesthetic? Make it match.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be kind of the direction the project goes. Like, I'm going to get to a point where I have like the core designs down, and then obviously people want to be able to like make tool
it.
templates to put all their stuff in. I swear, you think I'd be organized, but things happen.
Like
I don't
the
even know
snips
it.
and all the different tools, or just have like a specific entry for, not entry, but what I want to say, like a void for it.
Exactly. Actually, I had it labeled. It's just after Murph, I just kind of put things like they snap into places.
I
but,
just recently recovered my workshop from Murph, so I know
yeah,
the feeling.
Yeah, mine's still not there, but like this is an example of like I want people to be able to do this kind of stuff. And
Yes,
I didn't even mention it, but I worked in manufacturing like after working at that truck leveling lift kit place. I was I did lead design, but I was also like running machines and other stuff too. And while I was there, I learned 5S, lean, all that stuff that Six Sigma, all that stuff that's like being organized and keeping things like in your kitchen, you know where the forks are, right? So it's like, how do you emulate that into like an organization system? So I'm starting to get more like that. That's the whole idea with like these labels, right? Because you can just print those, and this one doesn't snap on, but the new ones do. But you know, I think it's easier to 3D print the labels now than it is to like print the part, get your label maker out, put that on. It's just more work. But yeah, I mean, when you, I guess an example was we had a UV printer at work, and it had these really expensive parts, like, but they'd be dumb. Like it'd be like the fan filter, like the air filter on the fan would be like $30 for a little piece of foam that was probably like a few cents. But if somebody just found that laying around, they'd be like, it's just, they think it's like packaging to something, they just throw it away, and it's like
it was just nothing to them.
That was a 4-pack of those. That was like $120. So it was like you want to have a home for like, especially those parts. Especially if you go to fix something, you want to make sure you have it, so you're not like ordering it next day air and all that. Yeah. So I learned how important that was, because like time is money when you're trying to make stuff, and it's like I think that's where like the project started like kind of going full circle for me, because it was like, all right, like I was doing this for fun, but now I'm using this for work as well. And I'm starting to help other places.
And then you
like
find
figure
out that
this
there's
out.
a large percentage of the 3D printing community that likes organization. They like things to be in certain orders, and especially one thing to organization, but then you add aesthetics to it. Then you add, I can actually add, a custom label to it. It's not just a sticker that's going to peel off at some point. It's, yeah, I mean, there's so many like steps that are just like, okay, this is really cool. Oh, that adds to it. Okay, I like it even more. I like it even more. Just it's like a stair step to just being obsessed with them. So that's I've got a whole plan for my workshop to have them lined up. It's just getting it and getting the time.
Getting the time. But yeah, I mean, like that's what like my head is like exploding right now because I'm like, there's so many directions to go, and I'm like trying to nail it down to like what's priority right now. But I mean, like outside of that, like I still want to do like cabinetry and stuff at some point and like build more functional stuff. But just there's so many use cases, and I don't know.
So one thing that we were talking about when I ran into you at Murph was it was funny because you're talking about the design. I had downloaded one of your designs, not even realizing it was your design because it was so long ago. And then you're talking about it, like, wait a second, like, oh hey, because we were talking about the HTPLA. And I have stuff, and I show you the picture, like, oh hey, yeah, that's my there's the logo. Like, okay, I got those there. So yeah, I already loved your designs before I even knew that they were the same guy that made the storage stuff. So it was really cool. But are you looking to do anything more with like tool organization, things like that, aside from tools in a drawer, but more so like those mounts?
Yeah, there's actually things I need to get better about releasing things, but I'll make stuff for myself, and then it's a matter of like, all right, now yeah, well, part of it is like if I release it, like one of my goals, like if you go through like my sites, you'll notice like I used to do a lot of instruction manuals as a like graphic designer, and rendering and all that stuff. So it's like now I always try to put like really detailed instructions, and maybe sometimes that's a hindrance, but I always hate when you like download a model and there's like 20 parts and there's print in PETG or PLA, and like that's the only thing, and you're like,
and then what settings do I need to change, this and that?
Yeah, you're like, there's like 50 things you're missing here, man. Like it's like opening an instruction manual that no photos and it's all in a foreign language. Like I just need to know what's step one. So like I know even my system, I still get questions on it. So like every time I get those, I'm like, all right, I need to go through and like make that more clear.
Well, yeah, and like, the drawback is even when you do have a full complete, you've covered all bases, you're still gonna get people, hey, what about this? Check page 3. Like it's there, I promise.
I literally, like this one project, I like the description page, it's long, and I have like photos, everything. I had this one guy, he's like, I don't understand, like where is this other thing? And I'm like, it says it like right in there.
Did you
and
he gave me or did you just glance at it?
I know, I was like, and I helped him so much. I was like, oh, and I have the website, and these are like all the things like you need. Here's this direct links. And he gave me 3 stars, and I'm like, all right, fair enough. I'll do something better next time. So, but oh yeah, I was going to mention like one of the things I've been working on. I have a Ryobi, those all-in-one tool like weed whacker things and whatnot.
Yeah. Yep.
And they give you a little teacup thing that goes on the end of it that you can like hang on a hook, kind of. Yep. But they're kind of a pain to use or whatever. So like one thing, I designed half of it like a year ago, and I need to finish it. But it's like you just 3D print it, and it's like you just easily push on it, and it pushes the like ball thing in. And so my plan is it'll have kind of like a ball shape on top, and then on the wall will be like a cup thing. So you just hang it up there. And I'm like, that way you're different shaped. Like if you got the weed whacker or just something, it doesn't have to hang straight down or something. It'll kind of like, it won't fall off the wall. Like that's my plan anyways. So I'm
glad that you use Ryobi. Hopefully that's what you mainly use, because that's what I use. So anything you design, I'll be able to use. So.
Well, there you go. Well, that's okay. That's another thing. Like I always try to give people advice on things. Like it's really good. Oh, I was looking for this. All right, cool. It's in one of my drawers. Awesome. Yeah, I'm organized.
Somebody's not using their drawers to the full potential.
Well, I don't even have a label on the front. That's terrible. It's failure on my part. But yeah, when you're designing something, you have to decide, like, you can make something like, okay, this is for a 1984 Honda Civic ST, or whatever the model is, and like this is like for the little window opener thing, and it's like, okay, that's going to definitely help someone out, like you made someone's day if they need that, but it's like you don't expect a lot of people to download it. And then on the other side of that is like, how can I make something that's going to kind of be the most useful to people? Like there's a certain level of making it universal, but also making it in a way that's customizable for them too, so they can turn that really generic thing into a very specific thing. So like that's something I'm always trying to think about, and like that's kind of a little bit of like the secret to the success of the project, versus like, don't pigeonhole yourself into like something that's too niche. And I mean, sometimes niche things work, like if you're doing stuff that are for like board games or something, and it's a really like D&D or something like that, like it's huge and it has a huge following, so it's like that could be very successful. But is there even something more universal you could be making? Maybe something for all board games or something, a dice thing that will work with everything,
something.
So
I think it's just a universal use or function, that just that way it's not just this, it can also be used here. Because like I said, the niche could be beneficial to an extent, but how big is that niche, and how much time are you putting into it too, I guess, is especially for a designer like you, is, do I want to spend 12 hours designing something that maybe 10 people are going to know what it is and we're going to have use for it? Maybe not.
Exactly. It like some things too, it's like you can't be afraid to like collaborate on stuff. Like I was really, really, I would say like antisocial about this whole project, other than like putting it online, up till like the beginning of 2024, when I started going to like I drove out to Rocky Mountain Rep Festival, which was an awful long drive from Michigan, but that was like the best thing ever, because I didn't realize people like were even knew me, like I had some people like, oh yeah, I know you're, it's like, that was a cool feeling. But then just meeting so many people, that networking, getting involved and starting to discover, that's like, awesome things just accelerated so fast from going to an event like that. But yeah, with that though, like collaborating on things or just finding ways to make things work into other things. Like I had so many people ask for like Gridfinity. And so it was like, all right, of course, like I got to do a Gridfinity drawer. And what's funny is like, I'll do them and I end up with like this little gap over here. And people are like, why didn't you design it to fit Gridfinity? I'm like, Gridfinity is a lot younger than my project. Like I'm not going to go.
This is revamp all the parts that you've done to fit Gridfinity.
Exactly. I had an awesome opportunity to talk to Zach Friedman this year. Awesome. And we chatted for quite a while, but one thing he brought up, he's like, yeah, you should really make the drawers fit the system. I'm like, you have no idea. I wish I could.
I'm only asked daily about it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm like too invested in it right now. Like it'd be like a whole, I don't even want to think about it. But what's cool though is like you start doing that, right? Like I did that. I made these tops for these tabletop kits that you could put on that add Gridfinity to it. And then like here's an example. Zombie Hedgehog, he designed his system to fit that. So just the other day I was like, oh no way. Like our drawer systems can be like he's got these nice little drawers and it's really cool. And like it kind of complements like everything. So I'm like, oh, I gotta kind of
that does, yeah, like you said, it kind of brings together that now it's compatible with, being compatible with Gridfinity, then makes it compatible with a lot of other things. And Gridfinity has been adopted everywhere and a lot of things. Some things that I don't think it needs to be adopted to, but people do it and it works for them. So who am I to say? Yeah.
Well, and that's something too. Like I'm always like people are always like, oh, I'm gonna release. Like, can you release this? Can you release this? And I'm like, it takes time. Actually, I was emailing you the other day because I was like trying to figure out that filament. And this is not very different from one of my like other drawers. Like I printed this just fine, but this is a massive drawer. And you know, I have a lot of people are like, why don't you just make it parametric? Why don't you just do that? And it's like, it's a good analogy. Like it's like you're like if you have a skyscraper and you just want to double the size, you can't just double the size. Like there's got to be more like support beams in it and structure and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's not just a scale issue.
Right. Yeah. And that's like the same thing with this guy. Like there's more things that you kind of got to do to make it work at this size. So like adding like thermal expansion joints. Like I'm not an engineer, but like I use Google quite often, you know, and it's like trying to figure out things, test it out. Okay, I got a result from that. All right, can I do something else? And then like kind of working through it. And then like I added like just the other night I added like little tabs to this, like the mouse ear things. But I shaped them specifically so they wouldn't be in annoying spots and everything, and like that helped. But it's still like the hassle of like, all right, these are, when it gets bigger, it's starting to shrink in spots, and I just don't know what else to do, you know. And like, so like that's where I'm like, what filament, like I'm using PETG, but I'm like questioning myself now. I'm like, is there something that could unlock, you know, different potential, you know? And it's something I always have to think like, maybe it's something I can get, but if it's really hard to get, you know, that's not going to work either, because
it makes it inaccessible by the person downloading.
Yeah, I'm always trying to figure out like what's the easiest thing for people to get, what's the most universal thing, and like what's just, you know, just trying to make it as easy as possible for people. I didn't even mention it, but like the drawers used to be all solid. Like here's an example of something. Like there's a whole economy of stuff when it comes to 3D printing, right? Because like you don't want to, like I was printing these out of Prusament orange, and that's kind of an expensive and difficult filament to get. And I was doing all my drawers in it, but it's
out and all that, yeah.
But I was staring at them and I'm like, you only see the front when you close it, and I'm like, this kind of dumb, you know. It's like I'm wasting all this good filament.
Oh yeah, for that box part, like nobody's gonna see this.
Right, exactly. So then I came up with the idea. I mean, just imagine like this one I did in green for the Murph, but usually I'll use black, cheap, either PLA or PETG. Black's usually the cheapest, you know, and they can do the body of this now in that cheaper material. So you build larger things at a lower cost, and then you can always just apply, you know, a nice faceplate to it, and that's all you're gonna see.
Yeah, you never see the rest of it, except when it's pulled out for the few seconds of you pulling it out to grab something and push it back in.
Right, and that's literally the whole concept behind this like decor series I was doing, was just to save on filament, and ended up turning into like, oh, I can like customize that front piece now. I can print it in different orientations,
colors.
Yeah. So that was cool. That was like one of those little like aha discoveries too. That was like, I just opened up a whole new world of something, another, you know, path I could go down. You know, it's just how much time do you want to invest in it? You know,
that's especially as a designer. As I'm not a designer myself, but I know it comes down to your time. You know, your time is valuable. So, how much time do I want to put into something that may or may not work? And sometimes it's a gamble either way. But you know, just like you said, of doing, you know, modifying everything for Gridfinity isn't just it's a 1 hour task and all my files are now Gridfinity compatible. Like there's more to it, but now with like that collaboration, I know another big organizational popular model for like workshops and everything is the multi-board. Have you thought about anything there of tying into multi-board to be part of that infrastructure? Also
a little involved in it a little bit, so
okay,
there's a lot of exciting things. I don't know, I love the system. It's crazy because it's like I have my system, and there's all these other systems like multi-board. Like my system is probably 150 parts or something. I mean, with it is really like you break it down, it's like maybe at most like 20 parts or 10 parts. But it's all different sizes and different things. Multi-board, it's kind of the same. There's like 25 main parts, so there's simplicity to it, but then there's so many variations to make it work with so many things. There's like 3,500 individual parts, so it's literally like Legos. So I don't know. There's a lot of exciting things with that, and like that, I love seeing where like 3D printing is becoming more functional than what you can buy at the store, and that's something too that like I think of, like, I mean, after working in manufacturing and everything, because I've had people like, why don't you just injection mold that? And it's like, well, if you injection mold that, you have to pay for the die. I don't think people realize like how expensive. Yeah, like even if I did one drawer, I gotta do, like, let's say I don't even do the faceplate. You gotta do the case, you gotta do the drawer, and then you gotta do like the little clips or something. Like, okay, cool. Now I just spent like, I don't know, $50,000 or more on that, and now I got to figure out, okay, the whole, like, I got to ship it. How many do I sell in a package? Is this going to Harbor Freight? Like, okay, now they got to go to the store, commit to buy 20 of them. They probably only need one or two, and it either flops or whatever. But like, and then you can only get one color or two colors or one size. You know, if I want to make another size, it's a huge investment. But with like 3D printing, I can just, oh, you need, yeah, sure, I'll just trim
change
it.
it up. Oh,
there you go.
Well, and same too. Like, okay, hey, this face plate, like I got the orange, white, and black. You know what? It doesn't match the aesthetics now. I want to go red, white, and blue. Boom! You print out those face plates. It's minimal time, especially at that point. Once you have the system printed, those face plates are very minimal. Like you can customize it, change the design, change the color. So yeah, and that, like you said, I don't think people realize is there's an upfront cost with injection molding, and while it does work for very, very large batches, you know, do you have the investment to upfront that cost to me, and you can gamble your money? I mean, sure.
Yeah, it's crazy, and like I'll admit too, like the project's growing. It's starting to like I was actually, from what I spent on filament and just like printer stuff, I was negative last year, and like the project didn't cover the cost of that, like doing prototyping, doing all that. This year I might make a little more and cover the cost of the project, hopefully. Definitely
on the right trend, at least.
Right. And like on top of that too, like a lot, like, because like the club, there's like, it's crazy. I started in club, I didn't think people were going to join. Like that was the first thing. I didn't have that confidence of like, I don't know. It's a weird idea. I feel weird.
Worst critic. Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be there.
I had to really push myself to even try it. And like, it grew. And then like every month it kind of grew a little bit. And like, it's been like a year and a half now. And I think we're like I'm printables, at least it's like right around 250 members now. And I'm just like, how? What happened? So it's like that alone is really pushing me. Like I'm releasing more and more than I've ever released on it. But it's interesting to think about, because like when I started the project, especially like I didn't make anything, like other than like once in a while people would like buy me a coffee or, you know, something that, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Somebody sent me money. Yeah. Well, and that was it. Like a lot of times I think it was Prusa points. I was like, cool. Like I got a free spool of filament, and like that was good enough. Like that, I was pouring, like sometimes I pour like 20 hours in the project a week. It was crazy. And then I'd be like, oh, so like no one would do that. Like, but it was a hobby, right? Like usually hobbies are like you buy a sports car or something and you sink tons of money into it, and like your return on investment is like always negative. Yep. But like 3D printing is a weird hobby because it's like, I just like got a job to do from it, or like even like I don't have to buy a birthday gift because I can print a really cool little car for, you know,
big time. Yeah, gifts and everything else. And then I said is I've went to some like vendor sites and or not sites, but vendor sales and like flea market type craft shows, and never was big on them, but like I'll just go to them. I was floored by like what could be like. I took a handful of dragons the first one. I was like, and whatever else I could find. That pretty much my first one was handful of dragons and whatever else I could find sitting around my workshop that I printed. Like, we'll just kind of display it and maybe take orders, whatnot. And I was floored, by especially the people that don't know what 3D printing is. Number one of them just being, oh, what is this? And they explain it to them, and they're super excited about it. But then, but yeah, just the way that people get involved with it, and like, hey, that can actually make you some money. And yeah, I haven't done it in a while, but it's like, it was fun times. You get to talk about 3D printing, sell some stuff, make some money. And my thing is just paying for the hobby. I never expected it to be this being my job like it is now, but even just selling 3D prints it was just hey, if it can cover me buying some more filament, or hey, if it's really good and can cover buying an extra printer that I know I don't need, then I consider that a win. So yeah, I mean, like you said, this has been a little bit more step past that point for you, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I still don't even know. Like I remember like the whole idea of selling models. Like my whole thing is like, it's kind of like, well, Gridfinity is all open source, which is really cool, but it's really simple and easy for people to follow. And like some other systems like multi-board and that, they're not completely like open source, but they're open to like modifying and stuff. And like, I'm really open to modifying it, but like, even like it's like 90 something % of like all the Gen 2 system, it's all free. So people can download and use. And like the ones that aren't free are more of like the more crazy, like just fun face plates
or variations. And
and like just things that even things that I'm kind of testing out, I'll put behind like the club, because I want to give them early access, and I also want to like have them kind of test it, so I'm not just like, here are tons of people like, and then they're like, you did this wrong, at least like the people at least the people in the club, they'll like give you like feedback,
honest feedback, because they're supporting you, so they want to see cool new things. And hey, if I can tell you this doesn't work or this does work, then it's that's what's crazy about any of the 3D printing communities, of how helpful they are.
Well, that's something to bring up too. It's just like going to these events, like I think I wouldn't be as like excited about things, as like talkative about things, if like, I don't know, I've had a lot of different hobbies. Like prior to this, like I got into like car stuff and whatnot. I'm in Michigan, so it's like car culture is really good. And I love cars.
Right there.
But you go to like a car meetup or something, and it's like everyone just kind of, they act like they want to one up each other. Like once in a while you get people that are like
groups, there's the tuners, the muscle cars, the exotics. It's like, and they all have their space. It's like you're either part of one of those groups, or you're just, oh, that's a spectator. And nothing against the car people. There's plenty of great car people out there. But I see that in like the car clubs, or even just different events you go to, is it's never as welcoming as where you go to a rep rap festival, and there is no like, oh, I probably can't go talk to them. Like I probably should. They're not approachable. It's just, everybody is just so amazing, kind, helpful. So
I don't know of very many events that like I can walk up to every single table at that. Like there's something interesting. And even if it doesn't look interesting, like there's things I missed at, mostly because I have my own table. It's hard to go around. But I think Sam Prentice did one, or a video, and you kind of get to watch these people like go through and look at their stuff. And he did one of a sewing machine. And this guy, oh my gosh. It could like pierce through like plastic. It was like an industrial one to like stitch leather and stuff. But he put 3D printer motors on it and stuff. And I'm like, I didn't see that at the show. And I'm like, it's kind of like one of those things where you almost just, you almost just have to stop and talk to them and see what they're doing, because it's something cool. And like, even like when I was at the show, you're still there?
Yeah, you're okay. I'd seen it glitched out too.
But yeah, one thing that was crazy was like Bondtech, the index system.
Yes.
I was like, oh, is that going to be at the show? And I'm like, well, I hope I get to see it. And what's crazy was they set up right across from me, like literally like the table across from me. And I'm like, holy cow. I'm like, I'm right across from them. I don't know. I always feel like a small fry when I go to things like that. So it's like, it's always crazy when like these companies or even like going to these events, you get to meet people. Like I got to meet Joseph Prusa last year, and I was like, kind of like one of those full circle moments of like, oh yeah, that's like I
It's kind
started
of cool.
using on your machine. Like I don't know, his whole mission of getting into it too, like 3D printing was, I don't know,
And
kind
that's
of
what
like
I
mine
think nice too
so.
is like you said, it's one thing to stop at the tables, and whether it's something you're into or not, it's usually at least interesting to see. But then even ones that you might not be interested in, there's usually a really cool story behind it. You know, and I think
Yeah.
that's why, you know, all of us we love, once we get into a place that is all 3D printing, you know, nerds like ourselves, it's so easy just to talk, have that conversation, and just roll. And that's I've done the same thing that you mentioned just a second ago. Was I leave a rep rap festival, or you know, it's a week later, somebody's like, "Oh, did you see this?" I'm like, how did, I walked down every aisle. Like, how did I miss that? No, it was right here. Like, I remember seeing something, but I didn't stop. It's like, and then you're kicking yourself in the the
Well,
butt. Like, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I stop there?
it's crazy because like not only that, but like just like the people you meet, like what blew me away the most, like usually you go to an event, everyone's kind of the same age or like they hang out with a certain group, but it's like you're talking to people that are of any age, you know, you'll be talking to someone, they're like, oh yeah, I was the CEO of this company, you know, the engineering firm or something. And then you got someone that's like, yeah, I'm in high school and I'm just getting into this
Yep.
hobby. And it's like equal conversation
Everything
with
in
both of them.
between.
It's so weird. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's I think that's one of the most shocking things. I feel like when you go to those events, you don't even realize like age doesn't matter. Even like your
There's just
interest in
no
your hobby.
divide. Yep.
Yeah, it all merges into one thing. And then you get so many ideas that could contribute to your like even my stuff. Like I have people that are like, can you make little paint holders for like this? And I'm like, I didn't even think about it. That's a really good idea. You know, like there's a lot that you can do. And it's like,
You get so many
that's
heads in one spot, and there's you can get 1.5 million. It's amazing ideas.
Yeah, it's cool. Well,
Yeah, but
I feel like, yeah, I feel like I was talking like too much there, but
no, like I said, that's the thing, is when you're passionate about something, and that's what I love seeing too, is meeting people. I mean, I know I met you at Murph, but getting to talk to people on the show is you really see how passionate people are about things, and that's Don't apologize for talking too much, because trust me, if we had the time, I've said this to guests before, this could easily be a 3-hour show.
That's how you lose your voice at Murph.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. So I've got to keep mine down a little bit. I got open sauce coming up this weekend, so excited for that.
Yeah.
But I do like to end things off with a little bit of rapid fire questions. If you're ready for it,
yeah.
I hope you've studied, you've prepared, many days of preparation for these questions. The first two are always the same, but the first one is going to be, out of all the filaments, it doesn't have to be Polymaker, what is your favorite color filament or surface effect filament?
Okay, this one actually, I thought about this one recently, and it's actually, I brought it up before, protopasta. I like filaments that you can get the result out of them that don't look like filament, honestly. So in combination with like textured beds and other stuff too. I mean you can do that with a lot of filaments, but yeah. I'll say protopasta on that one.
Okay. And then second question, out of all the things that you've designed, whether it be organic or a drawer system, what has been the one model, one design that you've been most proud of?
This one.
There you go.
It's simple.
That was just like we said earlier. Like that's the biggest aha moment. Like this, yes, this is what this is going to save me from wanting to throw my screwdriver across the room.
Yeah.
No, but then other than that, with drawers and everything else, and now that you can print your own drawer system out, do you? How should I word this? I guess is, let's just say, how many drawers do you currently have in your workshop, and how many do you foresee having at the end of the year?
I most of mine now are prototypes. There's a combination of like, I kind of like normal people. Like I just bought some stainless steel screws. So I need to print one of my little screw holders, but for the most part, I'm always just prototyping try to do every single one before I release it. So there's like 100 more drawers I'm probably going to bring out. So There's probably 100 here. Some are in the attic, some are they're everywhere. And I also give a lot away as gifts, Father's Day gifts, all
It's
that stuff.
useful.
So
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, who
yeah,
can't use a drawer for organization of anything?
right. So it's I have no idea. I honestly have no idea how many
A
I've
lot.
made or how
We'll
many
just
are.
put a lot as the
It's a
number.
lot.
Yeah, with more to come. Which then, speaking more to come, for people that like organization, think that the drawer system you create is awesome. They want to do it for themselves, or they just want to kind of keep up what you're doing and maybe any collabs that you may or may not be working on in the future. Where should they go?
So I created a website that is my full catalog that you can it'll link to printables, things. And I started more recently putting stuff on Maker World, setting up for those printers, and then also some on Jerrari3D. But it's all like instructions, videos, all that stuff. They're on Jerrari3D.com, YouTube.
You can't see
Jerrari.
it, but they can.
Okay, good.
I
Yeah,
have it on
if
the
you just
screen.
look up Jerrari on YouTube. I don't know how I got just my name on there, but there we go. I'm happy about that.
There you go.
What else? Oh my gosh. Oh, I on Reddit, I created the Gen 2 system subreddit just like last week. So it's really new. So
awesome.
I'm trying to build up that community.
And is that where you kind of get
and-
like feedback and then maybe take suggestions, things like that?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a better platform for like, hey, here's this, and then you get your mixture of good and bad feedback, and I mean it's all good as long as it's like constructive.
Yeah. Not being
Of course,
internet bully for sure. Yeah.
yeah. And then outside that, I mean, like on printables and things they're my clubs. So like if people join that, it helps the project, but then it also, I try to always give them stuff in return. Like that's always my mindset is like, they're joining this, obviously like they want either to not just support the project, but like I want to give them like custom faceplates and all that stuff. So anything that I try to sell, or I mean, I do sell, I don't try, they do, anything I sell, I put those into the club as well. So I try to make it worthwhile. And I don't know, I really appreciate everyone who joins that, of course. Like it's, I would not be doing or spending this much time on this project if they didn't do that. So I don't know, that means a lot. So
amazing support. Yeah, so like I said, it's Jerrari3D.com or Jerrari, if you search on YouTube, Jerrari3D across pretty much all the file repositories. So all the stuff's there. Obviously Jerrari3D is a nice central location. It is actually a fun site I just recently started playing with. Of how it's set up. I like the design, and I click on it.
Thank you.
And then there's all the little links for each repository. So yeah, go check that out. And then other than that, is what socials are you most active on of posting? So whether there be a new release or something that you're working on that they can follow.
It's weird. I think like Twitter or X, like that one seems to be like very well with like the 3D printing community. Trying to get more on Instagram, but and then of course YouTube. I'm trying to get more videos out, more tutorials. So I'd say those are probably the main three.
Awesome. Well, I greatly appreciate you coming on here. It was nice talking with you at Murph, and then be able to talk to you a little bit more here. I'm sure I'll see you in the future at future events.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm excited to
of
meet you
course,
there.
The system's going to progress. Again, I'll be waiting for the multi-board stuff, and I'll be waiting for more Ryobi stuff. So I'll be printing all those in the new Power Tool green we have, or yellow, I think it is. No, green. I don't even know, and I work for the company, but no, I appreciate everything that you're doing. Definitely go show them support, everybody. And again, Jerrari3D.com, and I'll let you go, man.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Yeah. And there you guys have it. Jerrari3D, also known as Joey. But just an awesome individual. Like I said, I got a chance to really meet him and talk to him at Murph for a little while. And again, it's always nice to have people on the show to meet them even more here. But those systems, if you've not heard of or seen the Gen 2 systems, a lot of times they've been on the front pages of things and things like that. And I think that's when I first saw it. But customization, the aesthetics and the organization, It's an awesome system if you got some organization that needs to be done, whether it be on your desktop or your workshop. I highly recommend. As he talked, I remember seeing the picture. Actually, I think I have it saved in my projects folder. Is a 49-inch monitor with all the drawers underneath it, and it looked amazing. The aesthetics was the one I looked at was like white and gray. It was sharp. But go show your support to Joey there, or Jerrari3D, wherever you might find your files, or wherever you might go to see social things and read up on the latest and greatest of newses. Other than that, some other things you can check out on all the socials are a couple of our projects. We have Polymaker Figurines, !PMF in chat. That's led by Onslaught Dimensions, and he's already completed level 1 or series 1 of all 151 Pokemon. He's now in series 2, and I think as of now he's got about 19 remaining in series 2. So go check them out. He releases a video every couple days, and when that video releases, that model that he shows off becomes available for free to download on Maker World. So definitely go check that out. We also have Polymaker Education, which is led by Creature Sprit, and that's !PME in chat. That'll get you the link tree there. Again, across all the socials, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, etc., where she does the same. Releases a video of a educational model. That model then becomes available for download for free for you to use however you please, whether for fun, for education, or just to throw at somebody. Not recommended by Polymaker or Polymaker Education. It was just a funny idea. Don't do it unless it's TPU. Maybe it's acceptable. Watch the eyes. But we also have Polymaker Lab that's going to be hosted by our Polymaker scientist, or what we call him, Sean or Scene, here internally. So go check him out. He gives you tips, tricks, and troubleshooting. That is on TikTok. Again, Polymaker Lab. That's !PML in chat. And last but not least, !IFPC for Imprinting Color, and that is a show that we sponsor that is hosted by Pezliz over on twitch.tv/Pezliz every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to go check her out. She's always got new material. Not always. As we release new material, she has new material to show off. And in between that time, she just shows how to use other materials and other colors in certain ways, and just kind of best case uses. So definitely go check her out. Again, that is weekly every Wednesday. But other than that, we have all of our Polymaker stuff, which let's see if I can do it speed round. Monday, we have Greg that does his Gregory's Corner, who is our content creator. Just a little bit behind the scenes of what he does along with his 3D printing journey. Tuesday, we have our community corner stream where it's just me talking to you, having fun, having ideas, maybe brainstorming together on events or some ideas and updates to things that you guys want to see. Wednesday, we have Tiffany, and that is where she's also talking kind of her 3D printing journey, what she's working on, helping you and you helping her learn things as she goes along, and just really getting to know her and then more of the team. Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard, we have Sean, who goes live with a feedback hour with Sean, where he takes your feedback for the customer experience side of things. Not necessarily the product stuff. Sometimes it gets thrown in there, but more for your interaction with our website and just the user buying experience, support experience, etc. Just letting you know updates that he's working there, and also taking the feedback live as you have it, whether the good, the bad, the ugly. And then that's followed up by this show, which is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single Thursday. And then we have Friday This Blank. Soon TM, maybe there's something in the works. Maybe we'll have a stream there. I'm waiting for the details and a full confirmation, but we might have some fun educational stream going on Friday. I'll let you know when that happens. But until then, there is no giveaway. If you guys haven't caught on, there's no ticker, no nothing. I apologize. I'm traveling for open sauce. This had to be pre-recorded. Don't hate me. I will be back in time to catch you guys on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So make sure to stop by, say hi. Maybe I'll give away an extra spool there to make up for it. Or maybe I won't. I guess you won't know until you come and show up. So thank you guys all for your support. I look forward to seeing some of you maybe at Open Sauce. And if you're not going to be there, I still look forward to seeing you in the future, whether it be at a rep wrap or anywhere else, or just online on our Discord, hanging out at discord.polymaker.com and just saying hi. I would love seeing you guys, love meeting the new ones, love re-meeting the people that I forgot their names because I'm not good at that. But other than that, again, thank you guys always for your support. You guys have a wonderful night, a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week, and we'll catch you here next week.